You want a shot at $50,000 in cold, hard cash? Well, Bull Rush just dropped a new sports comp, the NFL Survivor. And the total prize pool, a massive $100,000. First place gets 50 grand, straight up. Think you got the picks to survive 20 weeks?
Join now at bullrush.com/ESPN.
My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird special $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. Late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, August 21st at the Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons, Glen Allen. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 23rd, Hilton Garden Inn, Colonial Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before or sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
From the Bull Rush ESPN studios. Learn more at bullrush.com/ESPN. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 106.1 ESPN. Richmond, it's time to get your morning going. Richmond Sports Talk by Richmond sports fans. This is Fitz The Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick. All live from the capital of the Commonwealth, where sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now,
Take my talents to South Beach.
live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz The Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good Wednesday, August 20th morning. Appreciate you clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 106.1 ESPN. Fitz the Bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Alan alongside on this Wednesday morning as we've got more 804 high school talk of the town previews coming up all day today. Matoaka at 8:30, Glen Allen at 9, Varina at 9:30. So stick around for that. Presented by Dave and Buster's. Excited for all of that. And drum roll, please, because tonight we've got Talkin' Dukes live from Draftcade in Short Pump. That's not the last time you'll hear me promote it. It is tonight, 6 to 7 p.m. at Draftcade in Short Pump. Talkin' Dukes, come on out. Chat with myself, with Matt Josephs, all things JMU football. Potentially some JMU guests will be stopping throughout the show. We are super excited for the Talkin' Dukes first live show of the 2025 football season. You do not want to miss it. 6 to 7 p.m. over there at Draftcade. And it is going to be a fantastic time, and we are pumped for it. We were down at ODU Media Day yesterday as well, and that preview coming on Monday as Fitz the Bill on the road continues next week with ODU. We were down there at Media Day, though, and just right off the top, I do have to say this, and it feels like Groundhog Day saying this. I like the Monarchs. I think they're going to be a feisty team in the Sun Belt this year. I've said that, I think, the last 2 years, but the vibes were good yesterday at ODU Football Media Day. I like the Monarchs, so keep it locked. That's next Monday that we'll be doing the ODU football preview as Fitz the Bill on the road continues, presented by Schilling and Esposito Law Firm. Tomorrow, we're actually on the road. We're at UVA tomorrow, previewing everything you need to know with what's happening at Virginia over there in Charlottesville. So keep it locked. We will be out there all day, 8 to 10 a.m. live from practice. Super excited for that. Super excited to preview what to expect out of the Cavaliers going into a pretty massive 2025. And then on Friday, we'll be at Shula's Steakhouse. Potentially some special guests dropping in throughout that show. And we'll be joined by Eric Harris, the head coach of Thomas Jefferson, as well on Friday as we continue on with our 804 high school football talk of the town previews. And then next week's game week for high school and college. Week 1 is here. Technically week 0. We'll talk about some week 0 stuff on Friday as well. But college football's here. High school football nearly here. NFL just a couple weeks away. It is the prime time on the sports calendar. Alan, good morning. How are we doing on this Wednesday, August 20th?
I am doing well, but I gotta start this off early. Look, you're just like, I got a friend. He's a Ohio State Buckeye fan. We used to do a college podcast together. And we have,
Plug.
you see my I don't do it anymore, obviously, but you see my group chats and everything. Every single year, it was Michigan's year. Like, no matter what, he would always give Michigan praise. not listening to a JMU fan praising an ODU team. You're trying to set us up.
No, look. I got a little bias when it comes to ODU. I've worked with them. I traveled with their men's basketball
so you
team
can
last
be bought.
year. So,
That's what you're saying.
hey, I said this when Indiana hired away Kurt Signetti. If you paid me $5 million to go do a radio show in Bloomington, Indiana, I'll happily walk my way to Bloomington, Indiana for that.
I'm disgusted.
Look, I'm just saying. Money talks.
We're starting out disappointed.
Money talks. But ODU, they've got a good team.
They do.
They've got their quarterback last year, Colton Joseph.
I hate to use the term, but he is a gamer. Like he's had. I watched him because I went to the game last year versus JMU, and there was moments where you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like that's an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
But he's boom or bust.
He was a redshirt freshman last year, redshirt sophomore this year. I talked with him about all of that, kind of his growth, and he kind of said, yeah, I kind of got to take some of those dumb plays out of my my repertoire. And he goes, that's what I kind of worked on this offseason. And if he could continue his rushing ability and then just increase even a little bit his passing efficiency, the dude's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the Sun Belt.
All he has to do is take his first initial read and just scrap it because it's always the wrong one. If he goes straight to the second, that is the right move.
If he goes to the second and then doesn't even have a second read and his second read's run, he'll be great.
Oh, yeah, because he can get down. He's like a better version of the gentleman from Holy Cross that went to UNLV that you guys had.
Now Matthew Sluka?
Yeah, Sluka, yeah. He's like a better version of him is what I thought. Like, he could pass a little bit better than him, but as far as the running ability, like he was impressive.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk all about Sluka tonight on Talking Dukes. That's going to be, I think, topic 1, 2, and 3, the status of the quarterback spot. Because Alonzo Barnett, who knows what's happening with him, and then that throws a lot of wrenches into it with Sluka and Richmond transfer Camden Coleman. So that's going to be a fun and long conversation.
But I don't buy your praise is genuine. I don't.
It is genuine. It is genuine. Ask anyone. I every season I call ODU my dark horse team in the East.
Yeah, I think it's just your safe space. Like, it's a cop out for my friend. So when they finally do
finally beat them,
they were going on their run.
I knew this was going to happen.
I told you guys we were going to lose. I told you they were going to be national champions. It just makes it easier to cope. That's
actually a really good idea. I never thought of it that way, but now that I know it that way, I might just do that.
I mean, he's doing it again this year.
Hey, good for him. Good for him. Even with Sharon Moore missing a couple of games due to the penalties. But NASCAR's schedule was also released yesterday. Richmond still just keeps its one race, but it is August 15th, according to, I believe, Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic broke the schedule. August 15th, that's a Saturday night race. It is worth noting, though, not that TV ratings are the end-all, be-all, but it's just an interesting little tidbit, is that Richmond fans, we all know, sold out the race on Saturday night. Huge attendance numbers. The tailgates were popping. Everything like that was a great time. However, the TV viewership fell dramatically. 1.39 million viewers on Saturday night. That's a 37% drop from last year's Sunday night race, which brought in 2.22 million viewers. So that's an interesting little tidbit. Richmond gets another Saturday night race next season, but moving on into 2027, I'm very intrigued to see if NASCAR favors its fan experience, its fans at the track, or if it favors its TV rights, its TV viewers. Because if Sundays keep showing that is where they get the majority of their viewers, I have a feeling NASCAR is going to start putting all of their races back on Sundays, despite fans in attendance absolutely loving the Saturday night races. And it was on full
like me and just forgot it was Saturday.
Yeah, they could have done a better job of kind of promoting that it's Saturday night.
I told my dad it was on Sunday as I'm driving to the race on Saturday. It's just a habit.
Man. Pat, friend of the program, from Motor Racing Network, he came up for the weekend. We had an absolutely great time. He did text me like 3 weeks before. He goes, "Can't wait for Sunday."
Yeah, it's just a habit.
I was like, Pat, you do know it is a Saturday night race, right?
You can show up Sunday. Ain't going to be a race, though.
And there's going to be a lot of trash in that tailgate if they haven't picked it up yet. But I was like, Pat, you do know it's Saturday night, right? And he goes, crap. And he had requested the wrong days off.
I'll also push back, too. You're darned if you do and darned if you don't. Because last year it was, people not coming out to the track, but the ratings were fine.
So
this year they sell out, and then the ratings drop. Well, what do you want, man?
And that's going to be the interesting thing, though, for NASCAR as they move forward, because it is a sport that is losing overall popularity. It is an aging kind of fan. Their average age of fan is quite old. They're not able to bring in the younger viewers and the younger fans. So with NASCAR, they've got to figure out a way to kind of walk that middle line. And is it through television? Is it through bolstering their TV product? Is it making it more of an in-person experience? Like, that is something NASCAR really has to wrestle with itself. And the Richmond race is just a really good example of that. You have a fantastic product at the track. You sell it out. Everyone's excited in Richmond. There's a buzz around the race itself. And then your TV viewership numbers drastically drop, a 37% drop from last year to this year. Last year was Sunday night. This year's Saturday night. Is this like, what's the solution? I don't have that answer. NASCAR, I don't think, has that answer. And that's something NASCAR has to figure out. They're tweaking with the schedule a little bit, like up and down the entire thing. Like one major change is Dover, now an all-star race. North Wilkesboro, which had been the all-star race location for the past few years, a revamped short track, that's going to now host a points race. So a little change up there to see if that will get maybe more excitement at the track, along with better TV viewership numbers. They're bringing Chicagoland back on the schedule. That's replacing Mexico City, and also is kind of the happy medium with the Chicago street
Mexico
course.
City, the one that took the Richmond race, they moved away from that pretty quickly.
They moved away from that in 1 year.
Yeah,
in 1 year.
interesting.
But Chicagoland back on the track, first time since 2019. Mexico City off the schedule. Richmond still only one race, Saturday night race though. Homestead Miami back to hosting the playoff finale, which Phoenix had been doing so since 2020. Homestead Miami is back to hosting the season finale. No more Chicago street race, and now there's a San Diego street course. So a couple of changes. NASCAR toying with the schedule like they have been the last couple of seasons, trying to figure out what exactly works. Going to be interesting to see how that one plays out, because they've got to figure out a way to kind of walk that middle, keep the fan experience alive and well, and keep the sellouts going and keep everyone engaged going to the track, but also ensuring that they're getting good TV viewership numbers so that when their media rights deals are up, they can get as much money as possible so that they can infuse that into the sport and all of this stuff. It is just it's a danged if you do, danged if you don't, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place type of stuff happening for NASCAR. All right, let's get you updated with what you may have missed in the wide world of sports overnight.
This is your Fitz the Bill morning update, getting you caught up on some of the biggest stories in sports.
One of the biggest stories in sports is the Colts making a decision at quarterback. Daniel Jones will be the Week 1 starter, and the result, Anthony Richardson's agent unsure of what his future holds with Indianapolis. The Arch Manning plot thickens when asked about his grandfather's comments that he would not declare for the NFL draft. Well, Arch Manning said this.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. He texted me and apologized about that, but I'm really just taking it day by day right now.
Taking it day by day, Arch Manning on the 2026 NFL draft. Speaking of quarterbacks, Saints quarterback competition between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck will continue, according to Saints first-year head coach Kellen Moore. Neither quarterback has pulled away, so they will continue that competition through the rest of the preseason. In MLB, Victor Robles, well, he did this earlier over the weekend.
Right fielder lined out to Halter at third back in inning number 1. And the first pitch from Estes. Swung on and fouled off on a pitch that hit him. He picks up the bat and throws it at Estes. He's been tossed. He is yelling at Joey Estes, and now he runs towards the mound.
He'll be suspended 10 games for the bat throw and the ensuing fracas. Robles was down in AAA on a rehab assignment. Mookie Betts has been manning shortstop for the Dodgers this season and has played above expectation. However, now with outfield issues popping up in Los Angeles, Dave Roberts, the manager, addressed whether he'll keep Betts at short or move him back into the outfield. He said, quote, "There's got to be another alternative, right? I think right now the way Mookie's playing at short, not bouncing him around, I think we feel very good about it." Vlad Guerrero Jr., he suffered a strained hamstring on Monday. After MRIs yesterday, the Blue Jays' first baseman got positive results. MRI showed no signs of damage, but the Blue Jays are playing it very safe. Currently, Toronto, 5-game lead in the AL East over the Yankees, and according to ESPN probability, a 99.6% chance of making the playoffs. And around MLB, Mets got an 8-1 easy win over the Nats. Phillies hold on for a 6-4 win over the Mariners up in Philly. Orioles get a hard-fought 4-3 win in 11 innings. The Braves rally past the White Sox 11-10. Yankees hit 9 home runs in a single game yesterday, tying the franchise record en route to a massive 13-3 win. So that's what you may have missed overnight in the wide world of sports. And we're going to get a break in here. Step aside. Be back. React a little bit to Daniel Jones. That's right. Daniel Jones being named quarterback 1. Daniel Jones being named quarterback 1. Very interesting considering Anthony Richardson, younger than Shedeur Sanders. Richardson younger than Will Howard, younger than Dylan, younger than so many. So the fact Daniel Jones gets named quarterback 1, quite interesting. We'll talk about that on the other side.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best-kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at QueenfieldGolf.com.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Summer's winding down, and so is soccer season in the RVA. Make your plans now to catch the next Richmond Kickers home game Saturday, August 23rd versus 1 Knoxville SC. Help the Kickers celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Open Cup Championship at City Stadium. Gates open at 6 p.m. for a 7 p.m. start, so make sure to stop by early for happy hour beverage specials and sample RVA's best variety of food trucks. Reserve your tickets today at richmondkickers.com. And don't forget, at Kickers games, dogs are always welcome.
106.1 ESPN Traffic.
Expect bumper-to-bumper traffic heading north on Old Osborne Road between Biggerstaff Road and East Main Street. Bumper-to-bumper traffic heading north on Bailey Bridge Road between Battle Creek Drive and Cameron Bay Drive, as well as heading southbound between 288 and Cameron Bay Drive. And just be aware of some congestion heading north on 95 between Bells Road and the 64 merge.
Stretch your sports IQ from sideline to sideline. Border to border with Matt Josephs, where local meets nationwide news. Buckle up for analysis that crosses every line. No passport required.
You want a shot at $50,000 in cold hard cash? Well, Bull Rush just dropped a new sports comp, the NFL Survivor, and the total prize pool, massive $100,000. First place, $50,000 straight up. Think you got the picks to survive 20 weeks? Join now and prove it. bullrush.com/ESPN. So Daniel Jones, he gets named quarterback 1 for the Indianapolis Colts. And that is one of the more head-scratching decisions I have seen from a coach in quite some time. This early, and I know we've already played 2 preseason games. There's still one more preseason game left, but it feels early to be naming Daniel Jones your quarterback 1. Has he really showed you that much more than Anthony Richardson? I don't think so. Granted, we're only seeing the preseason, so we're only seeing a very small snippet of what's happening at practice, everything along those lines. But I said it on the other side of the break. Anthony Richardson is still younger than the following quarterbacks: Shedeur Sanders, Will Howard, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Shuck, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix. He is still younger than all of them. And he still does not have a lot of football underneath his belt. I mean, that was one of his, I guess you could say, flaws, but also something that attracted so many teams to him was that he was such a raw talent. And you see it. You see it. He maybe has the best pass in the entire preseason. It was called back due to some dumb call at some point in that preseason week 2 game. But we all remember that he got absolutely blasted by the Ravens in preseason game 1, ended up breaking his pinky, but then he returned for preseason game 2, and he looked solid. He looked promising. Looked better than Daniel Jones. And something that Anthony Richardson brings to the table is his dynamism as a runner, what he's able to do when the play breaks down, something Daniel Jones is not able to do. He hasn't been able to do since he tore his ACL. And then, oh, by the way, I think he had like nerve damage. No, he had a neck injury, which has now made it where his deep ball is essentially a non-starter. So you're getting a quarterback that can only really do 2/3 of the throws that is needed from an NFL quarterback. Feels very odd that this early in the preseason, the Colts have decided to go with Daniel Jones as quarterback 1, a quarterback that might give you a better floor than what Anthony Richardson's doing. But your ceiling is, Anthony Richardson, you've probably got a ceiling, a vaulted ceiling, a 15-foot ceiling, whatever a big ceiling is. I don't own a home. That was a poor analogy. I walked right into that one. But like Anthony Richardson, the world is your oyster. With Daniel Jones, you're walking into a house that's got 6-foot ceilings. And for myself, I got to duck down a little bit. And for Shane Steichen, for Chris Ballard, the head coach GM combo in Indianapolis, this might sound a little crash to say, but with Jim Irsay's death over the offseason, you have a new ownership. You have new expectations. Maybe their job was safe with Irsay, but with this new ownership group, which is his own family, it's his daughters, but they may have different expectations. They have different thoughts. You're dealing with new people. The expectation is that you're going to win a playoff game. You're going to be a frisky AFC team. And with Daniel Jones, you're not that. With Anthony Richardson, you might be.
I don't know where to start on it. I did want to make a joke about how Daniel Jones is a runner when he plays the Commanders. He has had some pretty interesting games when he's played them when he was with the Giants. I don't think it's not a huge gap between the two of them. I get the ceiling aspect, and obviously Richardson has youth on his side. But here's the thing. You go back to the very first game of preseason.
Yes.
Richardson comes out. There is, I wouldn't call it a stack box, but
he messes up.
Yeah,
but a free rusher comes off and blows him up.
So that was 1,000% his fault.
Yes.
He should have adjusted the line. He should have seen that coming. He should have actually read that play right to left, not left to right. It should have went to the tight end that got the free release, or the running back that was running out into the flats, because the rusher was coming from the right side. Those are elementary aspects to the position.
Yeah.
I don't have time to teach you that. My job's on the line. I don't have to teach Daniel Jones that. Even if Daniel Jones isn't as talented, I don't have to go back and go 1 + 1 is 2, Daniel. That's how we play the game.
Did Anthony Richardson make that mistake in preseason week 2?
No, but
he didn't make that mistake.
It only takes the
you know what Daniel Jones is going to do? He's going to turn the ball over at an insane clip. He's going to get sacked at an insane clip, and it's going to put you behind the sticks before you even get a chance to run a play.
Richardson is going to be inaccurate and also give you some turnovers as well, and he's injury prone.
Okay, Then when he gets injured, Daniel Jones, who's also injury prone.
I know. We're going to argue back and forth about the same guy.
Like Daniel Jones. Like,
I'd rather go with Daniel Jones than Anthony Richardson right now.
If your goal is to be a frisky AFC team that wins a playoff game, Daniel Jones is not doing that. Daniel Jones cannot run. Daniel Jones cannot throw a deep ball. Daniel Jones does not know how to take care of a football. Daniel Jones does not know how to feel pressure. Daniel Jones does not know how to avoid pressure. Daniel Jones has been a major disappointment ever since being drafted out of Duke.
If your goal was to be frisky, you were hit from the start with both of these guys. That's for sure.
You 100% were. Like the deck was stacked against you, but you know what Daniel Jones is. You have seen it be played out. Anthony Richardson, he is still a raw talent. Coming into the league, he had barely been a starter, and that is a huge problem.
He shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been. It was very similar to the Trey Lance situation.
Yes.
This is, you become infatuated with the tools. You're like, I mean, that guy's 6'5", 230. He's got a rocket launcher for an arm. Man, if we could just mold him. And then his rookie year, things looked good, right? Like, you had the hope, you had the expectation that Richardson was going to live up to his draft position. Then he gets hurt. Things get derailed. Last year, he takes himself out of a football game because he's tired after running around avoiding a sack. You can't do that when you're the QB1. He gets benched after that. He then comes back and has a very lackluster season. He has a sub 50% completion percentage, a number we have never seen in the modern NFL. Like, that is absurdly low for a week in, week out starter. I get all of the negatives to Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones also has a lot of negatives with none of the positives that Anthony Richardson potentially gives you. You were screwed the second you stepped foot into this season with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson as your quarterback competition. Should have been Anthony Richardson and, heck, Joe Flacco, where you could bring in an old veteran. Russell Wilson, you could bring in an old veteran that you trust can run an offense effectively. They didn't do that. They brought in Daniel Jones, just an absolute... I don't want to rag on Daniel Jones too much, but like,
you can rag on him. I mean, he's bad.
He's not a great, and then you go, all right, it's him or Anthony Richardson. And if your goal is to win playoff games, well, you're not going to with either quarterback, but like, you might with Anthony Richardson if everything clicks randomly one Sunday.
Now, just to be a jerk and keep this argument going, I think Steichen wants to get back to more RPO elements, and at the end of it all, Richardson is not accurate enough to do it.
That's true.
He doesn't process quick enough to do it either. And for all the negatives we have about Daniel Jones, he can run an RPO-based system more effectively than Richardson can. I think schematically, there's Steichen's backed into a corner with this pick as well. Like, you know, we talk about, you mentioned deep throws and things like that. I don't know if they necessarily want that out of either guy right now, but when we're talking about the small windows and just having to get the ball out your hand quickly, I'm shocked that Richardson can't do it, because I thought when they picked him up, we're just going to see another variation of what he did with Jalen Hurts, right?
I thought exactly we would see that.
But he can't, and this isn't to start a Hurts conversation, but he can't effectively make those tight window throws or read the field quick enough to process, I need to get the ball out quickly, right? I need to get the ball out quickly and accurately, not only for your receiver, but for yourself. And I think, you know, Jones, for what it's worth, I even just did a quick Google. He's actually not bad in his limited sample size with RPO as far as his accuracy and decision-making. I think that played a part into this decision as well.
I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, they're both bad.
They are both so bad.
One is really, 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 really bad, and one is really, really, really bad.
Like, just he had a big time throw percentage last season, which means like you hit a massive throw, a tough window throw. 1.9%, one of the worst rates of all quarterbacks in the NFL last season. He had a pressure to sack ratio of 20%. He was getting, if you got pressure on him, you were sacking him one every 5 times, which is not a great number because, I mean, granted, there's a couple quarterbacks worse than him, but of consistent starters week in and week out, one of the higher marks. Like, there are just so many flaws in Daniel Jones's game where if I'm a Colts fan, thankfully I'm not a Colts fan. Like, I'm thanking my lucky stars that I have Sam Darnold as a Seahawks fan, right? But if I'm a Colts fan, I just feel upset because I know what I'm getting out of Daniel Jones. As a fan, Richardson at least leaves me with a little hope. And that's all I want. I just want a little hope.
Richardson was a top 5 pick, right?
Was he the 5th overall?
I think he was.
He was top 10. He was top 10
Let me go back and see. But I just want to put out there that he's been benched twice for he's 4th overall pick. Yeah,
4th.
So he's been benched twice in 2 years.
Yeah. One, because he took himself out of a football.
How much longer are we're gonna try to make this thing work? I feel like the writing's on the wall that the franchise is giving up on.
The real issue here is Daniel Jones was your backup plan, and that is a fireable offense right there. But look, the agent even said so. The agent said, "I don't know what the future holds." Look, you trade him to the Rams.
I would trade him as fast as I can and sell people on this idea that you can work with his potential.
And that's what the 49ers failed to do. They didn't trade Trey Lance as quickly as they could.
Yeah, well, he's really bad.
He was, but
they didn't make him look good.
Get a 5th-round draft pick. Just cut your bait now. Like, if you're not going to start him, cut your bait now. Send him to a team that at least gives him a chance to maybe flourish as a backup for a year or two. I would love to see the Los Angeles Rams go out, get Anthony Richardson, see what he can do behind Matthew Stafford, working with Stafford, Jimmy GQ. And if Sean McVay can't fix him,
nobody can.
Maybe give him to Kyle Shanahan. And if Kyle Shanahan can't fix him,
don't give him to Kyle.
Maybe Kevin O'Connell. And then if those guys can't fix him, nobody can. Got to get him in the hands of a quarterback.
If you work
Shane
with
Steichen's not that.
If you work with that tree, you should be able to get fixed. I'm also going to push back on you. I think Steichen is a good coach and a QB guy, but he can't work with this. Like, you gotta have at the bare minimum, you gotta have some accuracy to your ability. And again, a lot of us rag on Jalen Hurts and whatnot, but he's clearly capable of those tight window throws when needed, when it's needed. And I think nobody can really work with the inaccuracies of Richardson, man.
That's true, but he could just. There's so many things. All right, we're going to get a quick break in here. On the other side, Fred Stutz, head coach of Matoaka, will be joining us to chat about the upcoming season for his squad as 804 high school football talk of the town previews presented by Dave & Buster's Roll On. Stay with us. We'll be back with more.
Progressive's Teen Driver Discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver Discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them. Endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Lowe's knows tough jobs call for tougher tools. The new DeWalt Elite Series power tool accessories are built to last for the pro who doesn't stop. With precision fitment, durability, and impact resistance, finishing jobs faster has never been easier. Shop the new DeWalt Elite Series at an everyday low price exclusively at Lowe's. We help, you save.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking early bird special $49.99. Seminars Thursday, August 21st. Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons, Glen Allen. Weight loss 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 23rd. Hilton Garden Inn, Colonial Heights. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking 2 p.m.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com. queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
Weather reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
106.1 ESPN weather.
It's currently 70 degrees and cloudy with a low today of 68 and a high of 86. Overcast skies are expected throughout the morning with the sun poking out around 1 p.m. Partly sunny conditions throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. We're just seeing a slight northern breeze topping off at only 5 miles per hour and heavy humidity today ranging from 90 to 65%.
We're more than a station. We're a sports community. Braves, Spiders, NFL, NBA, MLB, NASCAR, talk shows, big games, local heroes. 106.1 ESPN Richmond is where Richmond talks sports. Want your brand in the mix? Advertise with us today. Call 804-330-5700 or email espnrva at summitmediacorp.com.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill rolling right along right here on 106.1 ESPN. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick and joined now by Fred Stutz, head football coach at Matoaka, as they're getting set for the start of their 2025 season and August 28th kickoff at Hermitage. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning to chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us, and thanks for all the coverage you give high school sports.
Of course, and looking at this season, going into year 4 now with Matoaka, how has that lead up been for this year compared to your past seasons?
Well, it's different this year because we lost a lot of players at graduation last year from a strong team that's been to the playoffs every year that they were in high school, and a lot of those guys went on to Division I level, and we had 10 kids signed last year, so that was a big accomplishment for our program. But this year's been a little bit different because guys who were role players last year now have to step up in leadership positions. And, last year you probably didn't pick them up on film because you're watching those big names, but these guys helped us win a lot of games last year. So now not only do they perform on the field, but they also have to be leaders.
Coach, you mentioned it, not a lot of returners, I think just 6 of them. So what is the process of reloading a roster like that? I mean, that is a lot of guys that you kind of have to slot into new roles, like you said.
No, 100%. We, a lot of the guys got some playing time last year. So we had a lot of guys going both ways last year. So a lot of these kids that we have now, sorry about that, a lot of these kids that we have now that are leaders, they're going to have to just step up and be those guys that you count on day in and day out to get a lot of playing time. So they attacked it in December after our loss in the playoffs last year. These guys got right back into the weight room, and they've led from the front every single day. They haven't missed a day. This is our best season we've ever had in the off season in terms of weightlifting. I mean, these guys really bought into what we were doing, and I'm excited to see what they do this fall.
So with that loss to finish out last season, you had against LC Bird in the regional semifinal. How did that kind of get you guys going, pushing yourself into the off season?
Well, I think there's really only ever one team that's happy at the end of the year, because other than that, everybody loses their last game. So it kind of gives you that motivation going into the off season to do better, to perform better. We made a lot of mistakes in the playoffs in that game and did a lot of things to hurt ourselves. And those are the things that really hurt, because it's stuff that you could have controlled, that you could have done better, executed better, or whatever your role was in that play. So these guys, they're motivated to kind of set their own course now. The Caleb Williams and Bryce Yates and Dale Newton-Schwartz, they're gone. So these guys want to create their own name and leave their own legacy on Matoaka.
Fred Stutz, head football coach at Matoaka, joining us on this Wednesday, August 20th morning. And, Coach, with so many new guys, is the identity of this team kind of going to be the same? Or when you bring in that many new guys, does the identity of the team kind of change a little bit?
Well, I think it definitely changes. I think we're going to look a little different on the field. We'll play a little different. Some of the things that we're doing offensively and defensively are going to be different. So these guys are definitely charting their own course. This team is made up to represent them, to really enforce what they can do and what they can bring to the table. So, I'm excited. We have Jay Penson, who's going to be one of our leaders, who last year was a role player. And he played every position last year. So now he's going to be one of those guys that doesn't come off the field. So he's been one of those guys that really helped us set the tone and build what we're going to do this season.
I love it. How's that quarterback situation shaping up?
We scrimmage again tomorrow, so we'll have a firm decision tomorrow after the scrimmage. But we got two good options. So, we got Stephen Ankiel, who's a junior, who's 6'2", 220 pounds, and then we have Cush Phillip L, who's a senior, who's athletic and dynamic. So, I'm kind of anxious to see how it shakes out tomorrow, and who kind of seals the deal to get the opening day start. And you never know. I think they'll both play, but yeah, it's a fun battle, man. It's fun to watch kids compete, but still have a good relationship. So cheer each other on, but knowing that they want to beat each other out for a spot.
How does a quarterback competition like that impact the rest of the team? Kind of seeing the guys at that quote-unquote premier position battle it out but keep that friendship going. How does that impact the rest of the team?
Well, it's funny because it does two different things. One, I think it's actually brought us closer because they see this competition happening. Both they also see these two young men getting along and supporting each other. So the kids are like, well, if they can do it, we can do it, and everybody builds each other up. And then on the flip side of it, all the kids know that no position's safe. If you want to start, if you want to have somebody's job, you put in the work and you show out in practice and in scrimmages, and you'll get your opportunities.
Fred Stutes, head football coach at Matoaca, joining us on this Wednesday morning. Coach, looking at your game on August 28th, we're about 8 days out from it at Hermitage. What does preparation look like starting now for that first game of the season?
Well, it's always tough. First opening night's always a little bit tough because as a coach, you're going through your checklist to have you prepared for everything that you're going to experience opening night. And I would love to sit here and tell you that, everybody's always 100% prepared, but there's always going to be something that pops up that you haven't prepared for. And then you take on top of that, you're playing a dynamic athletic team that returns a lot of players from last year who's explosive on offense and defense. So, we're going to have our work cut out for us. So preparation's already, underway, and, we're trying to get right for next Thursday and see what happens when we go over to Hermitage.
What are the expectations for that first game of the season? What are you looking for as a coach?
It comes down to execution. Are we going to be where we're supposed to be? Are we going to be flying around? Are we going to limit the mental mistakes, the turnovers, things like that? It's at the end of the game, I couldn't tell you who's going to have, more points than the other one. But if we go out and we execute and we do what we're supposed to do and we don't turn the ball over, I think that's usually how people lose early in the season is they just make mental mistakes or, turnovers. So we're going to try to limit those things and go over there and see what happens.
Awesome, Coach. I look forward to seeing you guys ball out this season. Good luck, and appreciate you taking some time.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course, there goes head coach Fred Stutes at Matoaca, coming off of a 10-2 season last year, 6-1 in the Central region, and then they open things up at Hermitage on Thursday, August 28th, as they look to get year 4 going the right way under head coach Fred Stutes. We're going to get a quick break in here. Step aside, be back. A little news or snooze on this Wednesday morning.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
Looking for a neighborhood service station that can provide premium fuel for your car, auto repairs, and friendly advice? Stop by the family-owned Bon Air Shell, 8762 West Huguenot Road.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all, or your money back. Seminar 8 p.m. on Thursday, August 21st at the Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons in Glen Allen, or 2 p.m. on Saturday, August 23rd at the Hilton Garden Inn in Colonial Heights. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Richmond football is just 2 Saturdays away.
Sham takes the snap, tries to sneak it in, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Spider.
We are running it back. It is back-to-back CAA championships for the Richmond Spiders. And now the Spiders are up for a new challenge. After back-to-back conference titles and 3 straight playoff appearances, it's off to the Patriot League. And it starts at Lehigh. Saturday, August 30th, 11:30 airtime, high noon game time on your season-long home of the Spiders. 106.1 ESPN.
News.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Or snooze.
All right, news or snooze. That's right, I'm back. I like this. This is now my segment here, Jack.
Sure.
I'm taking it over. All right, up first, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford continues to be day to day. That's it. That's the headline. Day to day, Matthew Stafford.
Newsworthy. That's massively newsworthy. He actually said, Sean McVay said he's day to day and week to week. What? He's either one of the. Technically, if you're day to day,
it makes sense.
If you're day to day, technically you are week to week.
You have to be week to week.
But if you're week to week, you can't be day to day. It's like bourbon. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon.
I agree. I like that. See, look, we found common ground this morning.
But he did indeed practice, which is very good. But the fact that he's still day by day after aggravating a disc in his back earlier this offseason, not very good. Because the Rams are a very good football team with Matthew Stafford at the helm. The Rams are not a very good football team with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm. And, Matthew Stafford, he has the aggravated disc. He reportedly received, and I did not know you could do this if you were not pregnant. He got an epidural. I thought that was only for giving birth. I didn't realize it was for aggravated discs.
I am not a medical person.
I'm not a medical person either. I'm calling it like it is. But Sean McVay said this is a very fluid situation. Him practicing, that was the first time he touched a football in off-season practice, assuming that he didn't just pick one up, but in a practice setting, first time he touched a football. If he is not able to go for the Rams, they go from the favorite to win the NFC West to, I don't know, the third best team in the NFC West, just like that. That is how important Matthew Stafford is to this Rams team. Great young defense anchored by Jared Verse. Then you've got a very solid offense anchored by Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, and Puka Nacua. But if you take Stafford out of that equation, I don't trust Jimmy G to get the ball to Puka Nacua when it's supposed to. I don't trust the ball to get to Devontae Adams without decapitating him. And the only thing Jimmy G can probably do effectively is hand the ball off to Kyron Williams. But you're one injury there away from kind of having your entire running back room blow up. So this is something, and we've been saying it all offseason, something to heavily monitor. If you're a Rams fan, if you're a Rams bettor, if you're just interested to see how the Rams do, very, very big story that's just kind of percolating under the surface in Los Angeles.
Well, about 5-6 years ago, people were saying that the Niners couldn't let Jimmy G go. And now here we are saying that, man, if you playing Jimmy G, you're a hit.
Time does some things. But this is why last season they tried to rework his contract. There was some questions there. That's why earlier this offseason there was talk that Matt Stafford might get traded to the Steelers or to the Giants. They ended up keeping with him. Stafford has a refound allegiance to the Rams after it's been a weird last 2 off seasons with Stafford, mainly because of his health issues. And now it's flaring up here. The Rams missed the boat to trade Stafford, so they're kind of going to have to figure this one out.
He retired after last year.
He should have retired. He should have retired 2 years ago. And I know he had a really good year last year, but, he was dealing with nerve issues last season where he could hardly throw a football. This year, back injuries, which goes along with his long list of back injuries. Stafford is a walking just glass man at this point.
All right, headline number 2. What's going on with our guy Micah?
I think to me today, it feels like they're going to kind of put up with each other this year, and then the Cowboys would have the franchise tag, and then they would put the franchise tag on him, and then all of a sudden, next offseason would be the season of the Micah trade. I think that one, of all the scenarios, feels to be the most logical today.
Newsworthy.
I was going to say, is a divorce coming? Newsworthy? All right.
So Schefter doesn't just say stuff. That was Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show. He doesn't just say stuff, right? Like, he is a very well-sourced person. He understands he has relationships to keep. He's not going to just be spouting off some weird conspiracy theory. This must be something he has heard from around the league, whether it's from a Cowboys source, from a guy on Micah's team, or maybe some other GMs are chatting about this possibility. But this means it has legs somewhere. How big are the legs? How strong are the legs? We're not sure. Schefter's not letting that on. But a very interesting develop for what's happening between Micah and the Dallas Cowboys. Makes it very newsworthy.
I've got just a side complaint. My man Adam makes way too much money to be using meth streams and talking from, I don't know what he was talking from. That couldn't have been a phone. Get a Bluetooth device or something you can have better audio with.
You're not wrong. I got better mics, and
he's always on the move. Why is he? He's always using such cheap methods.
Don't let the haters guess your next move if you're always on the move.
Jeez, man. Ugh. But I mean, I don't even know if I would agree it's newsworthy. I just feel like it's inevitable, right? The man got disrespected.
Yeah, he does not want to stay in Dallas.
Yes.
That is the biggest key to all of this. And
we've never seen an owner or any franchise talk about their star player in that manner.
Yeah.
I wish he had played hurt or questioning their heart.
Oh, we pay him. We'll be paying him. It's so disrespectful from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones has met his match with Micah, then shouting back at him through his podcast, through the media, everything like that. But
you watch his podcast?
I don't watch his podcast. Have you ever watched his? I've seen clips from his podcast.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I am very intrigued to know the type of person that sits down and watches an NFL player's podcast.
Oh, gosh. Me too. I can't
outside of NFL media, that just does not interest me. Like listening to the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast, that does not sound good.
No, they give you enough clips too. When it's actually something good. You don't have to watch it. It's like Cliff Notes. So
just give me the clips. But what Schefter's saying also does line up, because right now there is not a team out there that could trade for Micah, take on his salary, and by the way, sign him to what will be a record-breaking extension. There's just not a team out there. Sure, the Pats have like $70 million in cap space, but fun fact, the New England Patriots are actually over the cap in 2026. Make that make sense. That is weird. But so the Patriots can't necessarily trade him because they don't have the cap space to then sign him to that extension. And there's not another team out there that's able to bring on that large of a salary this year and moving forward. So what would make sense is they stick it out this year. He has a good year. He gets franchise tagged and then traded, almost like a sign and trade essentially. So Micah divorce probably incoming, and Adam Schefter lays out a very interesting way of it happening going into 2026.
Should have saved your collusion for this instead of Lamar Jackson NFL.
Yeah, they probably.
Headline number 3. Jets and Aaron Glenn confident in QB Justin Fields.
Snoozeworthy. Duh. Of course the coach is publicly supporting his quarterback. I mean, duh.
Have you heard the sounder from Freddie and Harry, where it's like, what? that's my reaction to this. What? What are we talking about?
Yeah, like he's out there and he's like, he's so many stories overnight, like the last 2 days. Aaron Glenn is confident in Justin Fields. Yeah, I mean, what would he say? What should he say? I'm not confident. That would be newsworthy.
There's 3 red flags here. Jets, confident. QB Justin Fields, all in the same sentence.
There's a 4th one. Head coach. No head coach has been good there since Rex Ryan.
What? I gotta find that sound.
He said, quote, I mean, you have so many people that want to talk about a small amount of plays. These guys get to go out there and play. He said that to ESPN's Rich Cimini. He then went on to say, everything's falling down because we throw 6 passes.
Sir, we've got at least 3-4 years of data on Justin Fields.
And not to correct Aaron Glenn here. Technically, it was 5 passes, and he went 1 for 5 against the Giants. That is then backing up his game where he went 4 of 9 or I guess over all of the preseason. So the 2 games he has played, he has thrown 9 passes. He's completed 4 of them for just 46 yards. He's also carried the ball for 3 yards for 3 times for 19 yards. But one of those 3 rushes was a 13-yard touchdown.
What?
Yeah, of course people are a little worried that Justin Fields, the quarterback who has never shown that he can consistently be a top half of the league quarterback, they're worried that he won't be a top half of the quarterback again. And Aaron Glenn's like, no, we are confident. I would hope so. You signed him to a 2-year, $40 million deal. And with the track record of the New York Jets front office and the New York Jets ownership, that's probably how long you've got as the head coach of the New York Jets until they fire you. Like, you need Justin Fields to be a top half of the league quarterback. You need him to be a type of the quarterback that can get you to the playoffs. Because if you do not do that over the next 2 years, what Woody Johnson, what Brick Johnson, his son, their craziness in that front office, they'll fire you halfway through season 2 if things aren't going well.
I was going to say, I think Aaron Glenn has a little longer leash than past coaches because he's a Jets guy.
You would think.
But yeah, we have a crazy owner and a crazy owner's son
who uses Madden to base off his rating.
He might get on Madden and realize that Aaron Glenn's not good based on the simulation and want him fired. So.
He's going to go on Madden, open up the Jets playbook, and then go, Aaron, why do we not have Jets sweep on our playbook in Madden?
What happened to Engage 8? Why is that not in our playbook?
When I was a kid playing Madden, man, Engage 8 was the only defensive play I ran.
I would have killed you with slants.
Yeah, you would have. This is also like 8-year-old me.
Hey, 8-year-old me was running slants too, but the graphics were not as good.
Racked up the sacks.
Well, the Jets need you in their front office.
Yeah, look, man,
because they would definitely love that.
I would just walk up to Aaron Glenn and be like, "Look, man, have you thought about running Engage 8? Have you thought about just blitzing all but 3 players and just have them all be just deep thirds?"
It's just destined to fail, man.
Like, it was interesting contract, giving him a 2-year, $40 million deal. It is, if you look at the language of the contract, it's essentially a 1-year deal worth about $20 million.
Yeah,
and then you can cut him after this season if things don't go well, which probably will be what the Jets end up doing. Maybe you just hope that he can keep you kind of afloat and give you an opportunity to draft one of these quarterbacks in this year's draft, whether it's, Arch Manning, if he does come out, because now it sounds like he will be coming out, whether it's him, whether it's Lenore Sellers, whether it's Cade Klubnik, Fernando Mendoza. There's so many names in this year's upcoming draft.
Sounds like Arch needs to realize who's running this show here, because Archie is the head of the table there,
Archie's
buddy.
saying, hey, man, I see the future, and you don't want the Jets or the Saints, or the Browns or the Bengals, or I guess the Bengals won't. But
Archie's gonna. He said he texted him and apologized and all this other stuff. I'm pretty sure there'll be a conversation during Christmas.
It's gonna be Christmas. They're gonna see who the worst teams in the league are, and they're all gonna be like, "Yeah, I think you're staying another year, man." And then Arch is gonna go, "Yeah, I'd rather not land in Cleveland, New York, or New Orleans." I was gonna say,
I don't know.
I blanked on that. Yeah, all of the maybe New Orleans with Kellen Moore, but probably not. Arch, stay in. Jets, you got to figure out your QB situation. Justin Fields probably won't be it. I'm glad Aaron Glenn's confident, but it'd be really awkward if he wasn't confident. All right, coming up, hour number 2, we'll be joined head football coach at Glen Allen, Malik Sexton, and Marcus Lewis, head coach of Verina, will be joining us in studio as we continue on with our 804 high school football talk of the town previews presented by Dave & Buster's. Stay with us. Hour 2 is going to be awesome.
Hey, it's Delvin Joyce, JMU Hall of Famer and former New York Giant. Listen, make sure you tune in to Talkin' Dukes every Wednesday on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Go Dukes!
Horse racing is back, and it's time to get ready for another Triple Crown season. Get the latest from the industry every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 with Off to the Races on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz. Nick Hahn and Frank Vespi bring you their insight and knowledge, talking with the people making the headlines, including jockeys, trainers, and owners. Plus, get the expert picks each week, including a visit by Derby Bill Watson. It's Off to the Races each Saturday morning at 10 on 106.1 ESPN. Streaming live on the iHeartRadio app. It's Experience the thrill of live horse racing all summer long at Colonial Downs Racetrack starting July 9th. Catch the action Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. And don't miss our Friday twilight races at 4 p.m. The biggest summer of racing, food, fun, and excitement for all ages. There's something for everyone. Get your tickets and check out all the promotions now at colonialdowns.com. That's colonialdowns.com.
It's bow time. Sure, you've had a sausage biscuit before, but have you had the smoked sausage biscuit from Bojangles? Well, now is your chance. Juicy, slow-cooked smoked sausage is grilled to perfection and served on a fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. No one does breakfast like Bojangles, and this smoked sausage biscuit doesn't disappoint. Right now, you can get 2 for just $5. Start your day with this flavor-packed deal while it lasts. It's bow time.
Evan Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Packers fans are hoping that this is the year we see Jordan Love put it all together, guys, consistently. And that is the real question surrounding the Green Bay Packers. Will the real Jordan Love please stand up? Guys, there's been a lot made of Jordan Love, a lot of pressure put on him this season. Am I crazy to think that he's going to be just fine?
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
From the Bull Rush ESPN studios. Learn more at bullrush.com/ESPN. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2, Fitz the Bill on this Wednesday, August 20th morning. Thank you for clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 1061 ESPN. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Allen alongside. And to kick us off here in hour number 2, we are joined now by Malik Sexton, head football coach at Glen Allen. Coach, appreciate you taking some time chatting with us about the upcoming year.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. You guys coming off of a 10-2 season last year. It was your first season as the head coach at Glen Allen. Going into year 2, how are things different now with that year under your belt?
A lot more prepared. I got into the job a little bit later. I was blessed to be on the staff for 3.5 years prior to that. So it kind of fell right into place. But I had a good amount of time to prepare for the season. We got rolling right in February for winter workouts when we came back from Christmas break. So we're a lot more prepared and just excited for the year.
Coach, you said you got into the job a little bit late. It seemed to work out for you, though. A school record 10 wins. What was the key to that success in year 1?
Just continue to build on the foundation that was laid. Former head coach Perry Jones that was there before me, man, he working alongside him, he prepared me for a lot of those moments that were gonna arise during that first year. So when I moved into the starting job, everything just fell right into place. Right, I had already coached the defense since those guys were freshmen. I've been around since that offense were freshmen, so they already knew me and knew the expectations. So that went pretty well. And it's kind of the same for these guys. They know me as the varsity defensive coordinator for their first year and a half in high school, and then now it's just all head coach, Coach Sexton. So they know the standard and they understand it. And that's pretty much was the success. The key to the success last year.
And, Coach, it's probably a question you've been asked a couple of times now, but how do you back that up going into year 2?
Just be consistent. You be consistent. Be consistent in everything you do. The way I talk to the kids, the way I approach the game, the way I approach practice, we just stay consistent. Because when we begin instilling this, our principles into these guys is no backing off, right? It is what it is. You know what you signed up for to be a part of this program, and it's just staying consistent with everything.
And Glen Allen, you guys have 10 returning starters from last season, so you're filling out about half of those starters. How is that going?
It's going pretty good. Got some new guys there just trying to get into that leader role, right? We were really senior heavy last year, so a lot of those guys are used to having leaders already on the field, right? So seeing these young guys emerge into those leadership spots, it's been a sight to see.
How was camp this year? How now that you guys have broken camp, you're getting ready kind of now in a game week almost with Prince George on the 28th. How was camp? Feelings after year 2 of your camp?
It was really good, man. It was really good. It was needed for these guys. A lot of our guys that came up from JV, right? They didn't really know the intensity of that varsity level camp, right? Because we've been doing it separate for a while. So getting them in tune to it, and before we even rolled into fall camp, going to do a team camp in the summertime and things like that, just to prepare them for what it was going to be, man. Camp was really good, really helpful in getting those guys a lot of the reps that they needed.
Coach Malik Sexton of Glen Allen joining us on this Wednesday morning. Coach, you got that DC background, so what will the identity of this team be? Year 2 of it, is it going to be that hard-hitting defensive side of it?
It has to be. It has to be. Being consistent, man, and staying detailed as possible. The small details matter in football, especially in defense, no matter what a lot of outsiders think. So just being as detailed, fast, and physical as we possibly can be.
So last season, it ends with a 23-20 loss, a close loss to Highland Springs in the playoffs. How does that result motivate you all going into 2025?
It just let us know that it wasn't enough. Everything we did last year, all the hard work, right, all the preparation, it wasn't enough, and there's more that needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? If we lost our last game, that's what I tell the kids. We lost our last game. We can't afford to take days off. We can't afford to take reps off, plays off. We can't afford to even be tired at times. We lost our last game last year, and the expectations are high, right? Especially when you have to, back up the type of season we had last year. So it just made us more hungry, man. Made us more hungry. As a well-coached team, a very detailed team. So we knew going into that game that it was going to be a tough one. But at the end of the day, we lost our last game. So we just have to come back this season hungry and more prepared.
So after getting a school record 10 wins last season, how do you kind of deal with the higher expectations around Glen Allen going into this year?
You embrace them. You embrace them. You don't go around them, right? You don't shy away from them. You embrace the expectation, and you rise to the occasion. That's all we can do.
I love it. What are some names? Who are some names we should be looking out for? Maybe we haven't heard a lot of now, but by the end of the season, they're going to be big contributors for you all, Glen Allen.
Yeah, man, we have star wide receiver coming back to play some safety for us as well, Davis Fisher. We got another starting guy that started in the nickel for us last year, kind of like our utility guy on our defensive side last year. Played some safety, some nickel corner, some outside corner, even bumped him in the box when we had to stack it up. His name's Javion Harris. He's probably one of our most explosive players on our team. But he has more. He has those varsity reps, those experience. He's one of the juniors that started for us last year. So it's gonna be exciting to see him come and work as that leader in his senior class. We also two good quarterbacks in Luke Perini and Ralphie Puccinelli. Two guys that bring different things to the table that we can use to our advantage offensively. Also we have Jakeem Dandridge, young guy coming up from JV. That's kind of like our speedy threat that we can use on the outside, and we can put him in the slot. Colin Whitby, our outside wide receiver, and Jabari Harris is his counterpart on the other side. Big frames, nice speed, great hands on those guys. Colin is a center fielder as well, so he knows how to go and track that ball. And then our inside backer, Jamar Payne, man, the leader of our team, one of our most physical guys. He played behind some really good linebackers last year, but I think the most impressive thing for me to see from that kid is his sponge. He watched, he learned, he paid attention to everything that happened, and now he's assuming that leadership role perfectly.
Malik Sexton, head football coach at Glen Allen, joining us on this Wednesday morning. Coach, that QB kind of situation, the QB battle you have going on with two of them, what was your approach to that in the offseason, and how has it been playing out?
You had to make it hard. You had to make it tough. Right, just with the landscape of transferring and things like that right now, we didn't want to make it easy for anybody. And Luke's been in our system for the last 3 years, and Ralphie came in from private school, transferred in for the private school. We were his public zone school, right? So having him come in, he brings a big frame as quarterback, and that's what we're used to, having Nana. But Luke brings the speed, man. He can use his feet, right? He can get out of the pocket and do some really good things. And Ralph has a big arm, but we want to just approach it as nobody's a starter, right? I'm not giving you anything. Everything has to be earned. I don't care who you are, where you came from. The standard is the standard of Glen Allen football. You have to rise to the occasion. And it's been a pretty hard-fought battle so far. Still pretty neck and neck. But it's just been good to see those guys get out there and compete.
And now, Coach, about 8 days out from the season opener against Prince George on August 28th, the Thursday. How's prep going for that game as you've turned the page from camp and kind of approached the season itself?
Yeah, man. Preparation has been and will be key. Coaching against any Tom Hall team, man. You gotta know that they're gonna be gritty, they're gonna be physical, and they're gonna be detailed, right? So preparation is key for us. We've been diving into the film, making sure that we are trying to cross all our T's, dot all our I's on both sides of the ball, and special teams as well. So just trying to exploit some weaknesses that we've seen, and just kind of stick to what we do. That's just what we do. Stick to what we do. Being disciplined, having a great attitude, man. Making sure guys sacrificing what they need to do their 111th, and then just turning it all into a habit and having the heart to do all of that.
Look forward to seeing you guys kick the season off on August 28th against Prince George. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Good luck this season.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Of course, there goes head coach Malik Sexton from Glen Allen, coming off of a 10-2 season last year, 6-1 in the Colonial. I mean, year one, he said he was a little late to get into the job after being a defensive coordinator for a couple of years with Glen Allen. And then what does he do? He just has 10 wins, most wins in school history. So just a nice little way to get your coaching career going at Glen Allen, and looking to back that up here in year two. Quarterback battle ongoing at Glen Allen as they get set for their game against Prince George, August 28th, a Thursday kick, as they look to build upon a fantastic year one with head coach Malik Sexton, trying to build off of a loss in the playoffs to Highland Springs and see if they can take it a little bit further here in 2025. All right, we're going to get a break in here, step aside, do a little stock up, stock down on quarterbacks throughout this preseason. And coming up at about 9:30, Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Verina, will be joining us in studio to talk about the expectations heading into the 2025 season for the Blue Devils. Keep it with us right here on 106.1 ESPN.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need hair volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Wrap up your workday with Matt Josephs and Bob Black from 3 until 6 p.m. Live interviews, breaking news, and real talk about Richmond sports. Your business can be part of the conversation. Own the afternoon on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports. Call 804-330-5700 or email espnrva@summitmediacorp.com.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick's seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird special $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. Late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, August 21st at the Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons, Glen Allen. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 23rd, Hilton Garden Inn, Colonial Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before, or sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Your trash is treasure at CNC Colored Recycling. From copper wire to radiator ends, cans to lead batteries, CNC Colored Recycling will pay cash or check for your your unwanted scrap metal. No load is too large or too small. Don't dump it, recycle it, and get paid at CNC Cullet Recycling, just south of Maple Street on Route 1 in Ashland. Free local container services available too. CNC Cullet Recycling, open every weekday and a half day on Saturday. Check the latest cash scrap prices online right now at cccullet.com. That's CCCULLET.
Looking to grow your local business? Let's team up. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, host of Fitz the Bill on ESPN Richmond. Together, we can craft on-air campaigns that drive customers right through your doors. Ready to collaborate? Email me, jack.fitzpatrick@summitmediacorp.com. Back in Fitz the Bill, rolling right along live from the Bull Rush Studios here in the capital of the Commonwealth. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Alan alongside. Appreciate you making us part of your morning. If you're watching on the stream, doing some camera work. We're being all official over here, doing some camera work, making sure that everything will look great when head coach Marcus Lewis will be joining us from Verina. He'll be joining us in studio, so I had to do a couple changes with the cameras, so just bear with us if you're watching over there on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. If you do want to watch the stream, just type in ESPN Richmond in the search bar on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. We'll pop right on up, and you can watch the stream live that way. You can be part of the show that way by liking, subscribing, commenting, following, doing all of that fun stuff over there on whatever social media platform you choose. And, of course, as always, you can be part of the show, 804-327-0888. Just chatted with Malik Sexton, head football coach at Glen Allen, as our 804 high school football previews roll on, presented by Dave & Buster's. Like I said, Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Verina, will be joining us in studio in just a couple of minutes. And we had Fred Stutz, the head football coach at Matoaka, join us earlier on in the show in hour number 1. On Friday, we'll be joined by Eric Harris, the head coach at Thomas Jefferson. He'll be joining the show as we continue on with our 804 high school football previews and trying to finalize a couple for next week as well. So in game week, trying to get the last couple of in and tried to get to as many as we possibly could. But, man, Alan, there are so many schools around the 804. So many schools. The 804 is massive, and I knew that going into it. But when you put it onto a spreadsheet and you just kind of actually realize it, you're like, wow.
Yeah, you'll never get to them all.
Never get to them all. And makes the Final Score Friday stuff that CBS 6 does all the more impressive.
Yeah.
They're getting out to like every camp.
Yeah, I haven't seen or heard from Sean in like months.
Yeah.
I think he was even up at Commander's camp one time. I saw Lane at the NASCAR race, but he was booking it too. Everybody was moving.
Everyone's moving.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like standing still for right now.
You're like, all right, this is fun. Like
I've got like maybe 2 days left. I am actually going to be out at the CQL Jamboree, doing some little league hits. See if we can get some of our younger athletes on the camera and with some hits. So if you're out CQL, you got kids at the CQL Jamboree this weekend, come say hi. Like don't be shy.
You'll be the guy with the mic.
I'll be carrying around an ESPN mic, so you'll definitely see me.
Will you have your ESPN polo on?
No, I will not. It's too high for that. I think I'm just gonna go normal.
We gotta get some more ESPN polos. We gotta
I gotta figure out some material that doesn't have me like
sweat. Well, you have a black polo.
Yeah, I know.
So that right there.
Well, originally, when I got the polo, they were like, "Well, it has to be black." So it's like, "Oh God, all right."
Well, all right. At least it's not gray.
No,
black hides the sweat.
Yeah, I've actually been doing some research to see what other people wear. But unfortunately, the only ESPN people that are active are Pat McAfee and Stephen A. And I don't want to dress like either one of them.
That's kind of tank tops.
Yeah, or sleeveless shirt. It's wide spectrum there.
You can either do that or you can do like triple-breasted suit jackets that Stephen A. loves to boast.
I know.
Speaking of Stephen A., did you see that he's going to be down at Norfolk State for First Take? They're going to be doing First Take live from Norfolk State for the Michael Vick debut.
I was going to say, why would they be at Norfolk State?
That's why. Michael Vick's debut.
I'm joking.
What? Yeah, I was down in 757 yesterday. I did not see Michael Vick. I was keeping my eyes peeled for him, but I didn't see him. He wasn't at ODU Football Media Day.
I wonder how that's going to work for them, considering like we saw what Deion did for Jackson State, but I don't feel like Jackson State or SWAC capitalized off of that momentum.
Yeah, MEAC has to capitalize on it. Here's the thing, too, though. Like, that is an interesting part that I feel like does not get talked about enough. Deion had coaching experience.
Yeah, just a smidge. But he had something.
He knew, like, high school. It was high school football in Texas.
Yeah, down in Texas.
I don't think Michael Vick had any prior coaching experience.
Probably camps. That's about it, which doesn't count. Yeah, I know.
So that's an interesting part of it, like where I am very intrigued, and he did a very good job of filling out his coaching staff with guys with experience, but it's a different beast being a head football coach in college football, regardless of what you have done or not done. Like that is going to be a pretty massive learning curve for Vic. Like, when do you use timeouts? How do you manage a game from a coaching perspective? You got to listen to your OC, your DC, your special teams coordinator. You got to listen to your position coaches. You got to figure out who's ready to, like, there's so many moving parts where it's going to be a steep learning curve. I think Vic can do it, but that is something where we all just kind of chalk up the exact. Deion did it at Jackson State. Vic should be able to do it at Norfolk State. Completely different.
I got you for timeouts, Vic. If you're listening, I got you for timeouts.
He'll be the timeout guy.
I'm a mastermind at when to call timeouts.
You're the timeout. You're running.
I actually helped Andy Reid in his first Super Bowl when they beat the Niners. He just didn't realize it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know who else helped them in that Super Bowl when they beat
the Niners? Yeah,
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, and Kyle Shanahan, who likes to sit on timeouts, but we're not going to go there. Let's talk about this stock up.
All right, stock up, stock down here, because quarterbacks are about to start their third preseason game. So with all of that coming, I want to go a current stock up, or if stock's going down on a couple of quarterbacks through the first 2 weeks of the preseason. And I want to start off with, this might be my homerism talking a little bit. I do want to start off with Sam Darnold. I want to start off with the new Seahawks quarterback. He made his preseason debut against, the Chiefs they played. He only went one drive. There was a dominant run game happening. Not to overreact, but the Seahawks offensive line looking good. Darnold went 4 for 4, hit 4 different receivers, 34 yards, led the team on a 10-play, 81-yard touchdown drive. Seattle would go on to win 33-16. Stock is neutral from Sam Darnold. Neutral.
Okay.
His stock's not going up. His stock's not going down. The jury's still out on Sam Darnold until week 1 of the season when he's getting interior pressure and to see if he can actually deal with stuff like that. So as it stands now, good preseason debut, but Sam Darnold, stock is neutral on him. He's still just hold it. I'll say that. Hold your stock on Sam Darnold.
Hey, I like that. Hold. I always feel bad for Sam Darnold, because when he came out of USC, he had the tools. I think the biggest issue was the small hands, and then because of the small hands, when he was in the pocket, if he got hit a lot of times, he had the tendency to lose the ball. But the talent was there to be an NFL quarterback. And then he has some of the worst coaching and dysfunction and tenures with some of the worst franchises, and we all write him off. And then he finally gets a glimmer of hope with somebody that invested in him, and weapons galore. And it was like, dang, he's actually not bad.
Good. Maybe he does have potential.
I'm low-key rooting for him to have a Baker Mayfield type resurgence.
So am I.
Yeah, well, obviously you as a fan, but like Baker Mayfield had some folks actually invested in him and gave him an opportunity, got a good situation and weapons, etc. And he's a good quarterback now.
Yeah.
I hope Sam Darnold can also keep that going, even though he plays for the Seahawks.
Hey, I'll take it.
But I'm
49ers fan saying it. I'll take it.
I'm cool with the hold. I don't mind that at all.
Hold your stock on Sam Darnold. Stock is up on Caleb Williams. His preseason debut, he had 2 drives, 13 snaps, 6 of 10, 107 yards. If you believe in passer rating, was 103.6. Preseason debut under head coach Ben Johnson. I like it. And oh, by the way, according to all the beat reporters who are at training camp, that preseason debut came after probably his best string of training camp practices. So stock is sky high on Caleb Williams. We're back on the bus, baby.
I'm going to hold on Caleb Williams.
Hold.
Yeah, I'm holding on Caleb. I'm holding on Ben Johnson. Because, again, we haven't seen him as a head coach. We've seen him as offensive coordinator. Sometimes these offensive coordinator turned head coaches have this thing called ego.
Yeah.
And don't want to either admit that maybe what they're doing isn't working, or that the quarterback isn't at fault, that it's them. And one of the issues that we deal with in San Francisco, sometimes these offensive coordinator turned head coaches can't call plays and head coach at the same time.
Yes.
So I'm holding on both.
All right, holding on. Caleb Williams, his stock is up. Quinn Ewers,
oh my God,
stock
Quinn
is up on him.
My God, Quinn.
Like, it doesn't matter because I guess he's battling for the QB2 spot in Miami, and he may have secured it, but through the second preseason game, he's looked good. He played the entirety of the second half in the Dolphins' second preseason game.
My God, Quinn.
11 of 17, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looked much better in that one compared to his first one because in the first one, it's dragging down all of his stats. 45.7% completion percentage, 207 yards, 2 tutties in the preseason. Most of those stats, most of the good of those stats came from his second preseason game. Stock's up. But, I mean, it's a penny stock at this point. It's just a penny stock.
It's like Doge.
It's like Doge. That's a great way of putting it.
It's crypto.
Tyler Shuck, stock down, sell. Get rid of your Tyler Shuck stock now.
You should have never got involved
if you bought that in the first place, that's like the meme coin. Who was it? Haley Welsh.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
What is she known for?
Hawk Tua.
That's what she's called. It's like you buying a Hawk Tua coin. 9 of 12, 66 yards, 2 sacks in game 2 of the preseason. Played the entirety of the first half. Oh, by the way, he took a terrible intentional grounding in his own end zone at one point. And Kellen Moore came out yesterday saying the battle between him and Rattler is going to continue raging on. Shuck can't even beat out Spencer Rattler. Like, not a great look for Tyler Shuck. Sell. Get out of the Shuck business and get rid of all your stock with him.
Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. Which is the worst QB battle?
Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. Speaking of Anthony Richardson, now that he has been benched, his stock is all the way down. Don't got to say more.
Shouldn't have gotten in on that either. That was a Ponzi scheme.
Jackson Dart. Stock up, man.
Oh, no. Jackson Dart is
he may be week 1
GameStop.
starter.
We're going to make a movie out of that.
His stock is up. He went 14 of 16, 137 yards, touchdown, did take a sack, but was rushed for twice, 5 yards for a touchdown. He's been the best rookie in the preseason.
He's even got me.
He's got me believing, and I was a certified hater of Jackson Dart.
I wasn't a certified hater, but I didn't have him rated as high as the Giants.
Yeah.
But I will say this. If the Giants continue to be invested in his development, keeping the tempo is important.
Yes.
Do not change up anything you've done. He's in rhythm when he's in the game. And I watched a lot of Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. I saw him at the Senior Bowl and things like that. But, people say preseason doesn't matter. I've learned more about Jackson Dart in preseason than I did watching him at college and doing the scouting.
At Ole Miss, they're like, you're a one-read quarterback. We're cutting out an entire half of the field. Like, good luck. And similar structure with the New York Giants, but asking him to do a little bit more, and he's been coming up big.
He's been doing amazing.
74% completion percentage across his 2 games, 291 yards, 2 tutties. Stock is all the way up on him.
Seems like the offense fits his eye, and it's a perfect marriage between player and system.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Now, the intriguing thing is, when does he start? Because they have been adamant that Russell Wilson is their starter.
Yeah.
So he may not even start a football game until like week 10.
Which is fine.
They're
not in a rush.
They've got a stretch where it's like the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, I think it goes, for the Giants at like week 6, 7, and 8. That you can't put him in there. You probably don't want to put him in before that. So probably week 8 after is when we'll see Jackson Dart take over for the New York Giants. Try and save Brian Daboll's and Joe Shane's job up there in New York.
I will say this. If it's working, like you see there's potential, and this is Daboll's system, then you should keep Daboll and keep him. Even if you move on from Russell, no matter what the season holds, like you should let these 2 guys stay together because maybe this is his guy. I mean, it took a little bit of time, but maybe this is his guy. And we need to keep this thing going to really get a good feel.
His system worked with Daniel Jones, got into the playoffs. They won a playoff game. Jackson Dart work-ish. But Jackson Dart is essentially a better Daniel Jones, a younger Daniel Jones. Can throw the passes you need him to throw, can be quick with it, throws off of weird platforms, can run the RPO. Jackson Dart might be exactly what Daboll needs.
And he's got the type of swag you expect from somebody that can conquer a market like New York.
Yes.
He's not Eli.
That's true. All right, we got to get a break in here. Step aside. Be back with Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Varina. He'll be joining us in studio as we preview the Blue Devils' upcoming 2025 season. Stay with us right here on 106.1 ESPN.
Summertime in RVA means Richmond Kickers soccer games at City Stadium. Family fun, food trucks, and men's soccer action on the field. Tickets online at richmondkickers.com.
Progressive's teen driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's teen driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Lowe's knows tough jobs call for tougher tools. The new DeWalt Elite Series power tool accessories are built to last for the pro who doesn't stop. With precision fitment, durability, and impact resistance, finishing jobs faster has never been easier. Shop the new DeWalt Elite Series at an everyday low price exclusively at Lowe's. We help, you save.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all, or your money back. Seminar 8 p.m. on Thursday, August 21st at the Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons in Glen Allen, or 2 p.m. on Saturday, August 23rd at the Hilton Garden Inn in Colonial Heights. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
When your sink suddenly springs a leak, or the tub stops draining, or the toilet stops flushing, it's surprising. You know it shouldn't be surprising? The price you pay to fix it. That's why Robinson's Plumbing Service promises no surprise pricing. What they quote you is what you pay. With thoroughly background check technicians, Robinson's Plumbing Service is here when you need them, with no surprises. And they guarantee all labor and materials supplied by them for 2 years. Now hiring experienced service technicians. Robinson'sPlumbingService.com.
Earlier on Clinton and Friends.
Jay Boogie in North Carolina. What up?
Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Bless, health, happiness to everybody. Shout out to the show. Shout out to everybody. If you're not a friend of this show, you need to be calling in, man. Shout out to this show. Much flowers, man. But everybody stay healthy and safe. You know what I'm saying? Your eyelids unattached. God bless everybody. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S.
Clinton and Friends. Weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. The Rich Eisen Show.
Jeff in Detroit.
You are a bridge, the Eisen Bridge. You have entertainers that want to be athletes, and you have athletes that love entertainers. And you bring them together, man.
The 3-time Emmy-nominated Rich Eisen Show.
You do it so seamlessly, it's not even funny. Definitely looking forward to you doing it on the new network.
Rich Eisen returns September 2nd from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, Disney Plus, and on ESPN Plus.
This is Ben Ingram with the Atlanta Braves. When I'm on the road to D.C. and Baltimore, I always tune in to 106.1 ESPN Richmond for all my sports news. They've got you covered.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill rolling along here on this Wednesday, August 20th morning, and we are keeping it going with our 804 high school football Talk of the Town previews. Join now Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Varina. Marcus, appreciate you taking some time out of your morning to swing by the studio and talk a little bit about the Blue Devils.
No problem. I'm just, blessed to be here. Blessed for the opportunity.
Yeah. So just kind of right off the jump, how's the team looking? How are the vibes around the Blue Devils going into 2025?
The team is looking good. I feel that we're ahead from where we was at last year. Competition every day. First day of school was Monday, so normally that Monday practice is awful, but we had a great Monday. So we loving where we at as a coaching staff and, as our student athletes.
So coming out of camp, books closed on the camp, going into now, I guess, preparation now. It's kind of game week almost. You got William Fleming at their place. How is that transition going from camp into kind of game week, I guess you could say?
Just like you said, preparation. Kind of looking at some of the film from last year. We haven't, have any film yet because they got one more scrimmage game. So just kind of seeing who returning, looking at the roster, kind of seeing, matchups and things like that, what they did last year. So just getting our kids' mindset right for the season. It's a long season, trying to stay healthy, trying to make sure that we recover, just taking care of our bodies.
So you guys have had 2 scrimmages already, right?
Yes, sir.
How'd those scrimmages go? How'd you like the team looking in those scrimmages?
It went good. The first one was more like a practice with Bird. So we didn't, do too much. Second one was Ward. I know that was their first scrimmage. But far as from what we wanted to see from our team, just flying around, doing their job, communicating, we saw everything that we wanted. We set out a couple of guys just trying to make sure that they was healthy for the season. But right now, everybody's healthy and looking forward to next week.
Awesome. Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Varina, joining us on this Wednesday morning. Coach, when you look at this roster, I think you guys, Sir Paul, he's committed to West Virginia. Damari Carter, he's gone UVA. Jay Sean Richardson, UVA. And then a bunch of other guys have committed to other Division I, Division II programs. Like, what is the talent level on this roster compared to past years?
It's a lot of talent. It's probably more than than I've been a part of, especially being a head coach. So practice is intense. So we try to treat practice like a game, and everything is game reps. So some of the matchups at practice we won't see that in the game. So our practice should be harder than a Friday or a Saturday.
So looking at it, how's the team feeling going into William Fleming? Open up your season at their place, kind of a little bit of a newer team on your schedule, right?
Yeah, it's first time that that I'm aware that we played them. So getting used to traveling, it's 3-hour ride. So that prep us for some of the games down the line or state championship or whatever the case may be. The guys are ready. We got some great leaders. Braylon Hood, Jaden Walker, Jay Sean Richardson, Baskerville. So they're ready.
You also got Maury then right after that.
Yes,
that's a pretty big matchup. The 804 with 7-5. Like, how did that game come onto the schedule? And then, you mentioned a little bit, William Fleming, you're doing it for the 3-hour bus ride, and you're preparing them for these games that you'll have down the road in the playoffs. How important is it to get a team like Maury on your schedule?
Oh, very important. I look at Maury, they one of the best teams in the state of Virginia. Why not play them? We want to make sure that, we want to get battle tested before the playoffs. And we know that's what we're going to get with Maury. They haven't lost a game in 3 years, so we know exactly, what the atmosphere will be, what they're going to bring, the talent that they got on the field. They got several Division I players. They got a great coaching staff. So them the type of games that we're trying to schedule our regular season.
So I know as a coach, you're focused fully on William Fleming, but let's take a little peek to Maury. What is it going to take to start this season off 2-0 and go into their place? First go into William and Fleming's place and do what you need to do there, and then bring Maury into your place and get a win.
Just everybody locked in and focused. Playing for 4 quarters. Gotta be physical. Gotta block out all the noise. We know they go chirp. We probably chirp as well, but just trying to make sure that the kids keep the main thing, and block out all the noise and just play around the football at the end of the day. Got to be able to control the clock, control the ball. What they do on offense, they can score at any time with the athletes that they got. So if we eliminate that and control the ball and be able to run the football, we got a great chance of beating anybody.
Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Varina High School, joining us on this Wednesday morning. Coach, you mentioned him earlier, but Baskerville, your left tackle, an experienced guy. I think he's been starting since his freshman season with you all.
Yes, sir.
How important is it to have your offensive line anchored by a guy with that much experience and that much talent?
Very important. I mean, this he dealt with some injuries early in the season, a couple of years ago. Just the leadership, because we got a bunch of other guys that that played that's beside him, but they juniors. We got a sophomore right tackle that's gonna be amazing. So him showing that leadership and what it takes to be around the Blue Devil and what a playoff run look like, I mean, it's great for them.
So kind of the talk around high school football in the area is Varina is the team to beat. You guys get to the Class 4 for a state title game, fall unfortunately to Phoebus, but the expectations are high around you all. How do you deal with such high expectations going into the season?
One, we try to not mention state championship, even though that's the goal. Just trying to get better each and every day. So that's our focus right now. Every day, are we stacking days? Are we getting better? Are we competing? Are we giving out everything that we got at practice? Because if we do that at practice, we'll see it on Fridays.
So I know you said don't talk about state championship, but looking back to last season's game against Phoebus, does that provide kind of an unspoken motivation for the team going into this year?
I mean, I know it does for us as a coaching staff. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the players want to get back there. But it's not an easy road. Like, people think it's just easy to get there. You can't look ahead. You got to focus on now and who you got, because it's 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. But, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, anything other than that, we feel like that, we failed. And that's the standard you want at your school or your program.
Was there anything that you guys went into this offseason specifically going, we need to fix this, we want to improve on that?
Just being able to, like I said, run the football. We're getting the guys that we got to come in, and our OC is doing a great job from a scrimmage standpoint, giving everybody the ball. So when you do that, it's kind of hard for anybody to kind of game plan for you. You know what I mean? From a defense perspective, just flying around, I feel like we did a great job last year on defense as well. Just flying around. We got some younger guys that's starting now that didn't start. We got 2 DNs that I think will be great players. They juniors. They fly around. So just really just focusing on us at the end of the day.
You keep mentioning the running game, and you guys have one of the more stacked running back rooms, it seems like, in the area. Can you kind of just talk a little bit about having that much speed, that much talent in your running back room?
It's a blessing. I mean, when you look at most of the teams that win the state championship or go take them long runs in the playoffs, you got to be able to run the football. It's cold. Most of these kids don't want to catch the ball. But, these running backs can play other positions. So we're going to move them around. We're going to make sure that we can find a way to give them the ball. But they all just complement each other. They all do something different. Sir Paul is a very explosive guy, along with the other guys. But they all just got something different that's unique about them. So, just being creative on just spreading the ball around. We still got Damari Carter and some of these other wide receivers as well. So it's gonna be very interesting on how it go and how we look. I just can't wait till Friday.
Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Varina, joining us on this Wednesday morning. You mentioned it. You guys got a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. How do you make sure that all the mouths are fed and everyone's happy with the amount of times they're touching a football?
I mean, I just think with our OC, Robert Scott, Puka, he ain't new to this. So he, even from rec ball, he had a lot of talent. So he knows what to do. We're communicating, we're talking to him. So if you don't do your job, they know where they're going to be at on the sideline. But it's a team effort. So far, we haven't had any of those issues. And that's all we keep on explaining to them. When your time comes, take the opportunity and run with it. The scrimmage game, we had several people, score or put the ball in the hand that was able to do some things. And to see the guys jump in and cheering their teammates on, that's the energy that we got, that we want.
And with everything, the most important position is that quarterback on the offensive side, because if you don't have a guy that can get the ball to the right place, it doesn't matter how much talent you have everywhere else. So how's that quarterback position looking for you guys heading into the year?
I was looking great. I mean, you're talking about him coming off a sophomore season and what he was able to do. This year, I think things are slowing up for him from just reading coverages and just knowing everything. It's a new offense that we are doing. But we got a great coach, a great QB coach that's talking to him, and we on the board. They probably text already. We communicating throughout the day, all day. But Caleb is ready. He's a kid that's been prepared for these moments. I mean, he showed us last year, and not only that, running the ball, he can run the ball and pass the ball. So we're gonna take what they give us, and and just go from there.
You mentioned a new offense. What's it going to look like this season?
A little bit of everything. You may see some spreads, some old Verona football tradition. So, like I said, it depends on matchups and who we playing and who we feel like we want to attack from both sides of the ball, whether it's offense or defense.
That sounds like it'd be an exciting offensive side. Looking at the defense, what can we expect out of the defensive side?
Physical, running to the football. We just preach turnovers. That's something that we do every day. We got two great leaders in the middle, Braylon Hood, Jaden Walker. You got Jason Richmond that's up front. So, far as stopping the run, that's our goal. Just first, stop the run and make people, get into situations where we know what they're doing. Defense should be great.
How would you describe the identity of this team? Is it a more offensive team or is it going to be more of a defensive team, just based off of what you've seen so far?
Honestly, I think it's going to be balanced. I think we will complement each other based on what we do. I'll say balance.
All right. That's a fair answer. I feel like there might be one that might be.
I'm a defensive guy. I'm the defensive coordinator.
So you're trying to.
So I'm always say defense first, because defense, you gotta stop people to win games, but you also gotta score points. But I feel like going into this season, we're gonna be balanced and we're gonna complement each other. And same thing you see on defense, what you can see on offense, and that's flying around, being aggressive, and just being physical.
You've said physical a couple of times, but kind of broader than that, or I guess more exact than that, is how would you describe your defensive style as the DC?
I would say physical, being aggressive, communicate. I mean, we blitz, but I really don't have to blitz when you got a front forward that can get to the quarterback. I don't have to do that a lot. But it's gonna be the same as the past several years. It's just us, kind of just doing multiple things, getting out of something if it ain't work. So make sure we prepare based on like what you're saying, seeing them more in some of these teams that we got to see.
So looking at William Fleming, going to their place, what is it, August 29th. It's the 29th. It's one of the Friday kickoffs with you guys. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see from your team in week one? First time you're stepping out onto the field in a game that matters. What do you want to see out of your team?
One, you're going into a place where you don't know none of the kids. First time playing, we going on the road, we going to somebody else's house, and when you taking some of these trips, whether it's Northern Virginia or 757, you got to go in there and start fast. So our goal is to start fast and really try to get the game over with early. And that's no knock on William Fleming. That's just what we want to do. So that's our goal. We trying to jump on them fast. Take the referees out and let's just play around football.
And kind of last question here before we wrap up. Expectations overall for the team going into 2025?
State championship, of course. But like I said, it's winning every day. Winning every day, not only in football and in life, in the community, in school. Our goal is a 3.0, so we pushing that. We pushing grades, and it's pushing being, great young men. So that's what we're looking to do.
We're looking forward to seeing you guys ball out this season. Good luck at William Fleming. Good luck for the entire 2025 year. Marcus, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Verona, taking some time out of his Wednesday to join us. We'll get a quick break in here, step aside, be back with more Fitz the Bill on this Wednesday morning.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need hair volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Join Mark Patrick's seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird special, $49.99. Seminars Thursday, August 21st, Comfort Suites at Virginia Center Commons, Glen Allen. Weight loss 5:30 p.m., stop smoking 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 23rd, Hilton Garden Inn, Colonial Heights. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking 2 p.m.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Have you failed the DMV written test 3 times? DTW Driving School can help you, and it's easy. For $99, you can take the DTW Driving School DMV approved course online, and you can even save $10 by using the DTW Driving School online coupon. What's even better is you can take the course at your convenience. Get details at dtwdrivingschool.org. That's dtwdrivingschool.org. Register today, and DTW Driving School will get you back on track.
Amber and Ian.
Because what people are doing is people are going, oh, same old Bengals, they're being cheap, essentially, right? We should have been able to kick that whole thing years ago. But certainly at this point, with all the money they've thrown around that offense, I mean, I think we're done having that conversation. There's got to be a reason that they have been more hesitant in this situation to commit to the guaranteed money.
Amber and Ian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on Sirius XM Channel 80. Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The Patriots are a team that could absolutely be a sneaky playoff team. You have an opportunity to capitalize on potentially having your young quarterback on a rookie deal and being the guy. You have a proven head coach who understands the culture in New England and Mike Vrabel. We like what they did in the draft. We like how aggressive they were in free agency. Oh, and by the way, they have the easiest schedule of any AFC team.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. This is Freddie and Harry.
Here's what I want for Caleb Williams. I would love to see him play well so people can shut the hell up. Ooh. So people can just leave him alone. You got the offense coordinator you wanted. They made pieces to put around you and brought those pieces in and out the free agency of the NFL draft. I believe in Caleb Williams. I would love to see him go out there and play well so he can try to continue to be the best quarterback he can be with an offense that is well suited for the gifts that he brings to the table.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Whether it's the football field, the basketball court, or the diamond, and everything in between, we'll be talking JMU Athletics on Talkin' Dukes Wednesdays, 6 o'clock here on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill, rolling along on this Wednesday morning. Appreciate Marcus Lewis, head football coach at Varina, taking some time out of his morning to chat with us about what to expect out of the Blue Devils coming up in 2025. You can find all of our 804 high school football Talk of the Town previews up over on YouTube. Had Fred Stutz on from Matoaka earlier, Malik Sexton from Glen Allen, and Marcus Lewis. So a big high school football day here on this August 20th morning. As we head out to the phone lines, Reggie is on line 1. Good morning, Reggie. How are we doing?
Tell you what, I'm so proud of the great job the guys are doing, and I hope Coach Lauren Johnson of Highland Springs will be on the dean of college coaches as far as getting young men into college. He had a plethora of young men going to Michigan. And speaking of Michigan, I saw the young man from Louisiana. Yeah. Mom and dad looked like they hit the jackpot. They took out their shirts. You get a Michigan shirt. You get a Michigan shirt. I'm like, wait a minute now, Mom, Dad. I mean, let your son have the glory. But he's a bad boy. What y'all know about the young man from Louisiana?
I just know he's a 10 out of 10 running back. Like, the dude is a baller out there in Louisa. Like,
again, I really might have a problem, but I've seen him play several times, and he's legit.
Yeah, you might have a problem if you watch it.
Listen, look, let me explain though.
Why are you finding yourself out in Louisa?
First of all, I did a lot of work in Louisa that I don't want to talk about. Second of all, my friend's son is a 4-star going to Rutgers, and he plays receiver. And so I know he's good. His brother was good too. His brother played at Fordham. So I was been to a couple games to see him play. And when you have a guy that's a legitimate 5-star he stands out. So I ain't have no choice but to be like, yo, that running back is incredible. Who is that?
Yeah. I mean, and then you also look at his offer list: Michigan, Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama is what it came down to. Very good. And then
get these dudes out of our area.
By the way, the number 1 rated kid in all of Virginia, Darius Gray at St. Christopher, he's making his announcement on Friday, 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network.
Is Michigan on his list?
No, he got South Carolina, LSU, Ohio State, Tennessee, and Clemson.
If it's South Carolina, they better give us a shout out.
Look, this area just got a lot of talent. So, sorry for taking that a complete right turn there, Reggie.
I want to know about the money that mom and dad looking at for their kids.
A lot.
Somebody getting a 6-figure signing bonus. I mean, come on, let's be honest about this.
You're very right.
You ever been to Louisa, Reggie?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So if anybody out there, if anybody out there is making money, you're gonna know. It's gonna stand out.
Yeah, but I'll say real quick before I go, Deion took over 60 players when he left Jackson State and went to Colorado. Now, thinking that's 60 HBCU players, even though the record wasn't that good the first year, but elevated that program. All I'm saying again that I love that Coach Vic and Coach Jackson are with the MEAC, but you think these coaches from Howard and Morgan and Jackson, Howard, Morgan, and North Carolina Central are going to lay over for these guys? No, they're going to take it personal. They're not letting them come into their house and show them up as far as coaching, because alumni's not going to have it and the AD's not going to have it.
Reggie, that's why
for a rude awakening.
I'm a little worried about Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick's first year, because neither one have that coaching experience, and they're going to be up against it week in, week out in the MEAC. Like, that is going to be difficult.
I'm telling you right now, they win 6 games between the two of them, I'll be shocked.
Really?
And I'm being honest. Between the two of them, they win 6 games. I'll be shocked. And look, I hate to say this, but the Delaware State president just got hit with a DUI.
Oh.
So, I don't know what kind of problems he got up there, but HBCU.com, Perez got hit. Now, how you going to lead men and the faculty when you out there messing up? I mean, come on, bro. Call Uber. Call Lyft. Come on, man.
I agree.
You got too much on you.
You're very right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it, Reggie. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. I mean, he's not wrong. It's right there. Uber right there on your phone. Lyft, it's right there. Just call him. Call him.
I'm a sick individual. I got the watch list for the Senior Bowl too. I'm not taking it away from football, but just want to let you know there's three guys from between Virginia Tech and Virginia. There's 3 guys on the watch list for the Senior Bowl.
Okay. So, all right. Who are they?
There is.
Can I guess them?
Nah, man, you go for it. One UVA and 2 Tech.
2 Tech. Was one of them Kelvin Gilliam?
No.
One UVA. Josie?
Nope.
All right, then I have no clue.
Kyron Jones is on there for Virginia Tech.
Of course.
Donovan Green, wide receiver for Virginia Tech, and Jamal Edrin, I want to say is how you say his last name. I might be saying that wrong, but Jamal Edrin is a wide receiver from Virginia is on there as well.
Okay.
But just wanted to put that out there. Last year we had a Richmond Spider on there. He unfortunately transferred to JMU, but I don't see any Spider.
Nick DeGennaro?
Yeah. He was on there last year. At least on my first list, he was.
Okay.
I don't see any Spiders on there in this one, so just putting it out there.
Okay. All right.
I'm just, man. Football.
You
is,
are.
I'm
not a sicko. I've just watched Savion Hitter.
I'm in the deepest dives of football, man.
I just watched Savion Hitter play once.
I like talent, and if I see it, I'm not gonna lie. I drove a pretty penny distance to see him again.
Tennessee is also recruiting the 804/540 pretty hard. Like this, really hard. Tennessee is all over Darius Gray from St. Chris, the number 1 player in Virginia, one of the best interior offensive linemen. Sorry, according to 247, the best interior offensive lineman in the entire country. And then they were all over Savion Hitter, the running back from Louisa. Darrell Sims, a former JMU coach, actually, was recruiting Hitter out of Louisa. And then what coach was recruiting him? Coach Glenn Ellerby is recruiting Darius Gray from Tennessee down there. So they've come to this area and they're planting their flag.
I mean, yeah, it's here. It's the smart thing to do because, I mean, UVA and Virginia Tech, they're trying to get back into it, but there's no real foothold here, right? Like we don't I don't think we have kids that grow up and they want to play for Tech. They want to play for UVA.
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah, like in Texas and Florida and Georgia, like, they got those bigger programs. Like, you grow up, you like Quinn Ewers. We talked about it.
He transferred to Texas.
Even though he went to Ohio State, when he reclassed, he came right back.
Yeah, because he wanted to play for his team he rooted for growing up.
Yes, that was who he was in his heart of hearts. He was a Texas kid, right? Like, maybe we need to do more propaganda. We need more Virginia kids.
I mean, it's winning, right? Like, not winning to make it that simple, but like the more you win, the more you're going to be able to keep your local products. Like, if UVA or Virginia Tech make a college football playoff, then I think all of a sudden they'll start being in these conversations a little bit more. If they both are perennial ACC champions, perennial ACC contenders, they get back into this conversation. And then, then there's the flip side of the coin. If JMU becomes a Group of 5 power that continues finding their way into the college football playoff, then Tech and UVA have kind of got to figure that out. So it's a very interesting time in the Commonwealth when it comes to college football, because right now they're losing a lot of their in-state talent to high-profile teams across the country. They need their high-profile teams, their Virginia Techs, their UVAs, to get back to the top of the ACC. And that way they can retain some of their in-state talent that they're losing right now to the likes of Michigan, Ohio State, Tennessee, and so many others.
Real quick, 0-3 has the prediction so far edged to LSU, so I know Espo is happy to hear that.
For Darius Gray?
Yeah, they're at 51.1. South Carolina's at 32%.
All right.
But Virginia Tech's on there. They got a 2% chance.
They're not
0-3.
It was. I don't know what On3 is doing. It's not even part of his final list.
I don't think it is
out.
either.
All right, that'll do it for Fitz the Bill today. Tomorrow we are live from UVA previewing all things Cavaliers out there in Charlottesville. Starting at 8 a.m. We're there 8 to 10 a.m. with players and coaches stopping by throughout. And tonight, 6 p.m. out in Short Pump at Draftcade, right next to the Funny Bone, if you know where that one is. Draftcade, 6 to 7 p.m. We've got a live Talkin' Dukes. You do not want to miss it. It's the first time we're taking Talkin' Dukes out into the wild, and we are absolutely pumped for it. 6 to 7 p.m. We've got an awesome giveaway we're doing at the live show. Come on out, say hi, enjoy an awesome evening of all things JMU football tonight, 6 to 7 p.m. Draftcade in Short Pump.
From the Bull Rush ESPN studios. Learn more at bullrush.com/ESPN. W291.
You want a shot at $50,000 in cold, hard cash? Well, Bull Rush just dropped a new sports comp, the NFL Survivor. And the total prize pool, a massive $100,000. First place gets $50,000 straight up. Think you got the picks to survive 20 weeks?
Join now at bullrush.com/ESPN.